see this guy court-martialed, found guilty, and thrown into jail for life.
Just moments ago, the Pentagon threatening to court-martial Democrat Senator Mark Kelly for being part of this video, telling troops to break the chain of command and disobey President Trump, even as some admit they still can't name one illegal order.
Because these are the kind of stuff, this is the kind of rhetoric and BS garbage talk that incite violence and everything else in this liberals democratic. I'm sorry for you saying Democrats, you're not including this. But unfortunately, your number is shrinking.
I think normally they think they can get away with comments like this until they face a guy named President Donald Trump who sued and won money against George Stephanopoulos, YouTube, Twitter. How many other companies you want me to talk about that? He won so many different lawsuits about to go after BBC. They don't realize they're going after somebody that's probably going to hold them accountable. And Mark Kelly, obviously, thank you for his service. He wrote a long tweet today. It's very obvious he's writing the tweet in response to say, here's my resume. I'm sorry I said this. Don't come after me. I'm a very important patriot. I love America. And on the other side, Hexet is like, you already crossed the line with the comments here. Just go read history with what happens with this. They crossed the line, and I highly doubt this administration is going to let this one go.
What's going on, everybody? Appreciate you guys pulling up today, man. I got to say it, and we got to talk about it. I got to say what everybody else may be too afraid to say. What Senator Mark Kelly and a few other lawmakers did with that video, making reckless comments about the United States military and hinting that soldiers should ignore the commander-in-chief, is one of the most irresponsible, reckless, dangerous stunts we've seen from elected officials in years. And I don't care what party you're with. I don't care what politician you like. This type of behavior, it's unacceptable. Point blank, period. Because when you start telling the military to pick and choose which orders they obey based on political preference, you're playing with fire. You are poking at the one institution in this country that must remain apolitical or the entire republic collapses. And let's be clear, members of Congress, they know the rules. They know about Senate Rule 19. They know about House Rule 17. They know that they cannot use their office to pressure the military or accuse political opponents of treason without evidence. They know this. They know they cannot undermine civilian control of the armed forces. They know this as well, but they did it anyway because they wanted a moment. They wanted clicks. They wanted to posture like heroes while putting the stability of our country at risk. And no, they don't get to play victim. They don't get to pretend that, hey, we were just asking questions or defending democracy. That's not how this works. When you encourage the military to defy the elected commander-in-chief, you aren't protecting democracy. You're flirting with the exact behavior the founders warned us about. So today, we're not sugarcoating anything. We're not tiptoeing. We're not pretending that this is just normal political rhetoric, because it's not. We're calling it what it is: dangerous, reckless, and absolutely worthy of scrutiny. Because if you let elected officials talk like this without pushback, you won't recognize this country in 10 years. Let's just keep it a buck. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's keep going.
We have breaking news from the Pentagon. The Department of Defense says it has received, quote, serious allegations of misconduct against Arizona Senator Mark Kelly. Now, it's important to note, Kelly is one of the 6 Democratic senators, all of whom served in the military or intelligence community, who now say they're facing heightened threats after President Trump accused them of seditious behavior, punishable by death, because they posted a video encouraging service members to refuse illegal orders from the administration. MS Now's Julia Juster is also in Washington for us. Julia, what can you tell us about these allegations?
Well, Chris, we found out through a post from the official Department of War account, Department of Defense, saying that they received these serious allegations about Mark Kelly and said that a thorough review of these allegations has been initiated to determine further actions, which may include recall to active duty for court-martial proceedings or administrative measures. And these are violations, they are saying, of the Uniform Code of Military Justice. Now,
the UCMJ.
What they are citing specifically as potential violations of that in that code is a prohibiting of actions intended to interfere with the loyalty, morale, or good order and discipline of the armed forces. Any violations will be addressed through appropriate legal channels. Now, they said that comments would be limited due to this being an ongoing matter, but we just heard from Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, who expanded on this initial announcement, referring to what he called the, quote, seditious six making that video you mentioned. Now, Mark Kelly, in that video, it's a mashup of various lawmakers talking about this, and his exact quote were, "Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders." He's spoken out about this.
Yeah, dude's in hot water, and he should be. I want to show you this tweet from Pete Hegseth. Check this out. So as you can see here, this is from Pete. This dropped the other day, and he says the video made by the seditious six was despicable, reckless, and false. Encouraging our warriors to ignore the orders of their commander undermines every aspect of good order and discipline. Their foolish screed sows doubt and confusion, which only puts our warriors in danger. And I'm gonna go a step further, puts our country in danger. You know, 5 of the 6 individuals in that video do not fall under our Department of War jurisdiction. 1 is a CIA and 4 are former military, but not retired. So they are no longer subject to the UCMJ. However, Mark Kelly, retired Navy commander, is still subject to the UCMJ, and he knows it. And as announced, the department is reviewing his statements with actions, or statements and actions, which were addressed directly to all troops while explicitly using his rank and service affiliation, leading the appearance of authority to his words. Kelly's conduct brings discredit upon the armed forces and will be addressed appropriately. And I'm 100% here for it. I'm 100% here for it. These people knew exactly what they were doing. They knew exactly what they were doing. And I think the book needs to be thrown and an example needs to be made of these people. Seriously, you cannot do this. These are the types of things that are done in other nations, not our own country. These are the types of things that we do to other nations to maintain our safety, not destroy the republic that we live in. So yeah, somebody's head has to roll, in my opinion. What are your thoughts? In the chat, let me know.
Supportive of the Department of War's investigation into Senator Mark Kelly. And I think what Senator Mark Kelly was actually trying to do was intimidate the 1.3 million active duty service members who are currently serving in our United States Armed Forces with that video that he and his Democrat colleagues put out. Senator Mark Kelly well knows the rules of the military and the respect that one must have for the chain of command, and that all lawful orders are presumed to be legal by our service members. You can't have a functioning military if there is disorder and chaos within the ranks, and that's what these Democrat members were encouraging. It's very clear, and not a single one of them, since they've been pressed by the media, and I'll give you guys credit for that, can point to a single illegal order that this administration has given down, because it does not exist. They knew what they were doing in this video, and Senator Mark Kelly and all of them should be held accountable for that.
She is absolutely right. They should be held accountable. And to be honest with you, whatever, charges can be levied upon them, I think they need to be levied upon them, and they should receive whatever the highest potential penalty, they should get it. You cannot have this. We cannot have sitting members of Congress and the Senate behaving like this. We just can't. We can't.
I want to pick up where we left off on this topic of political violence. I know your family has suffered because of it very, very directly. And then this past week, the president called that video you participated in sedition. You heard me read what he said again this morning. Sedition at the highest level and a major crime. Do you have credible threats? How concerned are you about your security at this point?
Well, Margaret, what the president said is very serious. I didn't think he would step over that line, calling for the execution of members of Congress. And his words carry tremendous weight, more so than anybody else in the country, and he should be aware of that. And because of what he says, there is now an increased threats against us. I'm not going to get into, details on my personal security. But as the husband of Congresswoman Gabby Giffords, I understand what political violence is. The president should as well. Just like Gabby, somebody tried to assassinate him, and he should understand that his words could have serious, serious consequences.
Yeah, you should also understand that your words have serious, serious consequences for our people in the who wear the uniform, our men and women in service, as well as for, the nation in general. For those of y'all that don't know or may not understand sedition, basically what it is it means to encourage people to defy lawful authority. And when members of Congress start hinting that the United States military should ignore the commander in chief, they're playing with the most dangerous fire in American politics. Senator Mark Kelly and the others that crossed the line, the military swears an oath to the Constitution, not to political pressure, not to viral videos, and certainly not to lawmakers trying to score points by undermining the chain of command. This isn't a debate. This isn't defending democracy. This is reckless. This is reckless, destabilizing type of rhetoric. And no, they don't get to play victim here. They don't. They need to be called out loudly, because once the military stops obeying lawful orders, the republic is finished. We're going to wrap the video right here.
So I talked to 2 CIA officers who said that this is a part of a larger hoax. And what they're doing here is they're trying to condition the country to prepare for something bad that's about to happen at the hands of Donald Trump. It's straight out of the CIA playbook. It's a destabilization operation where you get people to mistrust each other. And you do this because she's an analyst. And as an analyst, she would make sure what propaganda operations were successful, which ones weren't. So she knows what works. So the first part of the video, you establish authority. I'm CIA, I'm military, you need to trust us. Second part of the video, they introduce the threat. And the threat's not foreign, the threat's domestic, the threat's Donald Trump. And then at the end, they introduce the solution. What's the solution? You resist, you say no. But they don't give an option. They say this is an obligation for you to do. Now, she is being run because she didn't come up with this herself. She's a Brennan acolyte, and you usually don't have congressmen and senators doing anything together. They kind of hate each other. So in order to organize this had to have had some sort of handler telling her what to do. And it was risky because nothing like this has ever been done in the history of the country. And you can even tell because the media was skeptical and they couldn't answer the question. So they hadn't even been read in on the operation. You see them fumbling and stumbling. And I'm glad that the U.S. military is now investigating this guy, Kelly, because this is what we expect from Donald Trump 2.0. You can't have the deep state interfering with a duly elected presidency and get away with it. You got to draw the line in the sand, and you have to make examples out of people.
I'm with him 1,000% there. An example has to be made. I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know. The comment section should be full here. I want to hear from you guys. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel. If you want to go the extra mile and support the channel financially, join the ARP family or buy your brother a coffee. That link's in the description box below. I appreciate you guys. A lot of love for you guys, man. And as always, keep God first, stay prayed up. We'll catch up with y'all next time. Peace.
We won't stop. I won't quit. Stand for the truth. No count.